In this video, I'm going to write an email for Cambridge B1 Preliminary. We will have a look at a task, plan the email, and write it together while I'm giving you detailed explanations. Hi and welcome to Teacher Phil, where I help people like you pass their Cambridge exam. My video on how to write an email in B1 Preliminary is really one of the most popular videos on this channel. And I definitely recommend watching it before you continue with this one. But it can be a little bit difficult to put all those tips, tricks and strategy into practice. That's why I would like to take all these ideas from the other video and put them into a practical video for you, where I write an email in B1 Preliminary in real time. So first, we are going to look at a typical email task and get all the information we need. Second, I'm going to show you how you can plan your email well. And last but not least, you can follow along as I'm writing the email and giving you my comments. So if that sounds good to you, let's get started. Hello and welcome to my office. Here we are to write an email in B1 Preliminary together, and I would say we'll get started straight away. One thing, however, is that we need to look at the timing. In B1 Preliminary, you typically have 45 minutes to write 2 different texts. So that includes the email plus another text, an article or story that you can choose. The email is the only task that you have to write. You don't have a choice and you simply have to do it. 45 minutes divided up into 2 tasks comes to around 22 or 23 minutes per task. So of course, I will try to get the email done in about 20 minutes. So you can see how this works in real time. So you can see on the left, we have our task. And the first thing we should always do is to analyze the task. First of all, of course, you can read the email. It doesn't take a long time. Typically, the text is maybe around 100 words long. And it's always an email that you get, for example, from a friend or from a teacher. So we have to look at what these people want from us and what we have to do. So you can pause the video for a second and you can read the email really quickly. I'm going to do this very quickly and we're going to get right into the task analysis. So whenever you write an email in B1 Preliminary, there are, as you can see, these 4 prompts. I'm going to highlight them for you real quick as well. You can see these 4 prompts on the left and on the right. And they tell you exactly what you need to do. So luckily, every email in B1 Preliminary is structured in a similar way. I explained that in my other video, as well as in the article on my website, where you can also find a lot of useful language, some of which I'm going to use in my own email here as well. So we need to tell our friend Sandy that we are also excited about our stay with them next week. Okay, so that is the first thing. The second thing, Sandy gives us 2 possible activities. We can go to a concert or we can relax at home. And we need to tell Sandy which one we prefer and possibly why. The next thing is Sandy offers us to go rock climbing in the mountains, but we don't want to go and we have to say why. And then last but not least, we need to ask Sandy a question because Sandy says, let me know if you have any questions. So we need to come up with one question that we can ask. So the next thing, after we found out what exactly we need to include in our email, is to make a plan. And for that, of course, we can go to our software, whichever one we use, and we can get started. So the first thing in an email is that we have to start with a greeting. And the greeting can be something very simple, like, hi, Sandy. And we could say something like nice to hear from you, or something like this, or thank you for your email. This is all we need to do in the greeting. You say hi or you say hello, and you add just a little bit of information where you say thanks for your email or nice to hear from you. Then the next thing is that we can jump straight into our first topic point here where it says me too, which means we have to agree in a way, or we have to say that it's the same thing. So we need to think about some good and specific language that we can use to express this idea. So in this case, maybe we could say something like, I'm really excited as well. Yeah, so here, and I will highlight that for you. Yeah, if we say, or if we use as well, that signals to the other person that something is the same for us. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So here, Sandy asks us which option we prefer, going to the concert or relaxing at home. So we need to express our preference, yeah, or we could also say, yeah, we need to suggest, yeah, which of these two activities we prefer. So in this case, we could, for example, start with something like this. Yeah, we could say, why don't we go to the concert, or why don't we stay at home? This is typical language to make a suggestion. Yeah, and we can continue with this. Yeah, because we should always perhaps add a little bit of information. The same thing, of course, here. So maybe I can write here one more sentence. We can do this when we write the email, but we should always use the good language and then add a little bit more information. Yeah, so here I could also use, to express my preference, I could say, I'd rather go to the concert, or I'd rather stay at home and relax with you. Yeah, so we have these two options here, or we can use both. Let's see how we can do this in our email in a second. So the next thing is we have to say that we don't want to go rock climbing and why. So that means we have to give a reason. In this case, we can, for example, because we don't want to disappoint our friend, we could say something like this. To be honest, yeah, I don't want to go rock climbing. And then maybe we don't want to use the word because, but we can use words like as or since, which have the same meaning. Yeah. And again, we give reason. Again, this is extra information that we want to add to the original thing that we want to say. So we have one more topic point left. We have to ask Sandy a question. And perhaps we could ask something like, I'm here. I should put this as well. So we ask something, and maybe I can say, should I bring whatever that might be? An umbrella, a rain jacket. Should I bring anything specific when we go out? Yeah, so these are the 4 different topic points. So we have a lot of very good, very specific language. And again, I will highlight all of this for you. So here we have the reason. And here, of course, when we have to ask a question, we can ask something like this. All specific language that we show the examiner that you know exactly what kind of language you can use if you want to express a specific idea. So every email, as you can see, for example, in Sandy's email, ends with a salutation at the end. Yeah, so we can add one last sentence, for example, talk to you soon. Yeah, or we could also add maybe one more sentence where we say something like, anyway, that's all for now. Talk to you soon. And then, of course, we finish with Phil. So this is a nice plan. And it took me, how long? Maybe 3 or 4 minutes. I'm not quite sure. Including all the explanations that I've just given you. If you do this yourself, obviously, you don't have to talk that much. And you can do this easily in 3 or 4 minutes before you start writing. A plan like this gives you a lot of security because you always know what comes next and what you are going to write about next. So you can save a lot of time, and the good language is already there as well. So you don't even have to worry about that anymore. So with all of that being said, let's start writing the email. So we're just going to take all of these things in the plan, put them together, add a little bit more information, and that's it. So here we're going to start. as we said, I'm going to say, hi, Sandy. And I can say, nice to hear from you. Yeah, and here we could also already use our first topic point. So I could say, I'm really excited to see you as well. Remember the good language. Yeah. And then one more sentence, we could say something like, I'm sure we are going to have a lot of fun together. Something like this, yeah? Here, Microsoft Word tries to give me some recommendations. Yeah, I mean, now I say I'm really excited. That is okay. So then, from here, we simply go to the next topic point. Yeah, so after we've started our email with a greeting, and we've already agreed with Sandy that we are also excited, we move on to the next sentence. We can start a new paragraph as well. That is also something that examiners look for. So after each point, just start a new paragraph and you'll be fine. So then we want to express our preference. So we could say, why don't we, which one do I prefer? I think I would prefer going to the concert. So I could say, why don't we go to the concert? Yeah. And then we can give a reason why. Yeah, I could say something like, I think maybe it's better to do something active, yeah, instead of staying at home. And perhaps, and I want to see different places. Yeah, so because I'm traveling to Sandy's hometown or to Sandy's country, so I want to see different places. Okay, so again, one more topic point done. We can move to the next paragraph. So then we have to tell Sandy that we don't really want to go rock climbing. And as we said, we can start, for example, with, to be honest, yeah. And perhaps we can say something like, I'm not very keen on rock climbing, yeah. And then we have to give reason. So we could use as instead of because. And I don't know, why do we not want to go rock climbing? I could say, as I maybe broke my leg 7 months ago, and I still need to be careful. Maybe something like this. Yeah, rock climbing could be a little bit too dangerous. I think I like that sentence. Yeah, so again, we use this nice expression, to be honest. Yeah, we don't want to make Sandy angry. And I give reason, yeah, by using the word as. And then we still need to ask something. So I could say also, yeah. And then again, we can use the good language from our plan. Should I? And maybe we can say, yeah, should I bring a rain jacket? Yeah. And again, we want to add a little bit more information. That's always the same idea. Use the good language and add some information. So here, maybe I can say, I haven't checked the weather forecast. And I'm not sure what it is going to be like maybe in your area. I think that looks good. So here I also try to include the present perfect, some nice vocabulary. Yeah, but we'll look at our email again in a second and see if we can change some things. And then from here, we move on to the last part, the salutation. So here again, we can say that's all for now. And perhaps we can add one more sentence. Again, I can't wait to see you! Exclamation mark, yeah? And then, as we said here, talk to you soon, Bill. All right, so this is our email. I think this took me around, maybe now in total, maybe 10 or 12 minutes. Obviously, in your case, this might take a little bit longer. That is absolutely possible. But you can see that it's not that difficult to at least get a first version of your email onto paper. Obviously, if you want, you can write this as a draft on a separate piece of paper. And then you can have a look at if you want to change some of the language, if you need to correct some mistakes. And then when you're ready, you still have enough time to transfer everything onto the separate answer sheet, at least in the official exam. So, of course, let's have a look at the email again, and let's see if we want to make any changes. I can also zoom in a little bit more now that we know how big it is. So here again, we have our plan as well. So let's see. Look here, I already made a spelling mistake. I caught it here. So hi, Sandy, nice to hear from you. I'm really excited to see you as well. I'm sure we are going to have a lot of fun together. So here I already see, I wrote here, I'm really excited to see you. And at the end, say, I can't wait to see you. Maybe we can change this here at the bottom and we can see, maybe we can say something like, I can't wait to come to your place or something like this. Yeah, I think that is a less repetition. And if you see something like this in your email, then always try to use different words to express the same idea. So I'm sure we are going to have a lot of fun together. I like that sentence. Why don't we go to the concert? Yeah, so here I didn't write to the rock concert. You could do that, yeah. I think it's better to do something active, and I want to see different places. Could also say I want to see different places, maybe away from home or something like that. We could think about adding that. Yeah. Then to be honest, I'm not very keen on rock climbing as I broke my leg 7 months ago. So I need to be careful. I like that sentence. I think we can leave it like this. Also, should I bring a rain jacket? I haven't checked the weather forecast and I'm not sure what it is going to be like in your area. I think that is also okay. That's all for now. I can't wait to come to your place. So we should change that. Yeah. So the only thing now that we can also think about is to connect the different paragraphs a little bit more. Examiners always look for linking expressions, not only within the sentences, for example, here, or here we use and, yeah, but we can try to, link our paragraphs together a little bit. I did this in one sentence where I said here also, yeah, but for example, here, we're talking about an activity that we want to do. But in the next paragraph, we're talking about an activity that we don't want to do. So this is a contrast. So we could maybe say here, instead of to be honest, we could also say, however, maybe that is even better because it contrasts this paragraph to the one above it. We can say, however, I'm not very keen on rock climbing as I broke my leg 7 months ago. So I think this is a little bit better. And you can see that we've used a few nice linking expressions at the beginning of the paragraphs, but also in the middle of sentences to connect our ideas. So I think this is a very good email. And of course, remember, always remember, analyze your task first, make a plan where you include your ideas as well as some good language that you want to use and that expresses the different ideas that we've identified or that we have to express in our email. And then when you write your email, follow your plan. And when you're done, read your email one more time and try to correct any mistakes or try to improve your email with a few more linking expressions or with synonyms or other expressions that talk about the same idea, but are not exactly the same words. So I hope that this little email will be helpful with you. And I hope that now you can see how I use my own tips and strategies in practice here. And this is what I do with my students in class. This is what I do with my private students. And I hope you will benefit from it as well. And there you have it. Following my own tips, I was able to write a really good email, including everything that had to go into the text while using really good language. Remember to always read the task very carefully and underline the most important pieces of information. Also, don't forget to make a plan where you can collect and structure your ideas and already think about some good language that you want to use in your writing. Thank you for watching the video until the end. I hope that you feel a little bit more confident about writing emails in Cambridge B1 Preliminary. Keep practicing, try to include my tips and tricks, and of course, leave a comment and tell me what you think. If you want, I can also be your teacher. I offer online classes and writing feedback, and you can also find the full article on how to write great emails on my website. All the links are of course in the description box below, or you can scan the QR code on your screen, and I see you in the next video.